Let's go from one champion to another. Georgia coach Kirby Smart joining us. Brian Snitker here in studio with us. Coach Smart joining us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Kirby, always great to have you on the program. Say hello to Brian Snitker.
What's up, Brian? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm retired, man.
I know.
I'm doing
nice
great.
life. I tell you what, I thought about you all year. I appreciate our friendship and really happy for you, man. You did an awesome career, and now you get to sit back and be like all these guys. You get to be the experts now.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we have all the answers right here in the studio, Kirby. We say it all the time. Just ask us, we'll tell you.
That's right.
So a couple of weeks ago, you kind of talked about that with Nick Saban coaching as long as he did, and you said, I have other things I'd like to do. What are some, for Georgia fans that are wondering, what are some of the things, down the road, 10, 15 years you'd like to be doing?
Playing golf. I'd love to play some golf and have some good matches. Spend time with my kids, and hopefully they have some families by then and get to enjoy the grandkids maybe by that time. But I just enjoy being with my family and doing trips and going places with my wife and my kids. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I don't know if anybody wants to think about it, but if you do spend it for a second, Brian just said there's no calendar anymore. Like, he doesn't have to worry about a Tuesday in June is sort of the same as a Monday in October, because the calendar opens up to you. You guys are on such a regimen, and now more than ever, it's 365. I don't know how you guys do it really to that degree. How much do you think about the amount of hours that it actually takes to be successful at your job now?
You don't have time to think about the amount of hours because you're constantly doing it. You're just in season all the time, 4th and 1 every day. There really is no off season for us because our guys are student athletes, so we're with them. They don't get an opportunity to go off on their own and go be with their families. They're with us year round now, and there's really not much time that you're not thinking about your players or your program or something you can do better within your organization. So it's definitely 365.
Kirby Smart on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Brian Snitker here in studio with us. We asked Ned about it earlier, kind of to use the term again, cross-pollination, picking coaches from other sports' brains, especially when it comes to, routine, winning championships. And I guess that's something that's prevalent, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, you learn from the best. And I love the doing it across sports, whether it's, baseball is such a mental game. It's less contact and physical, but it is such a mental game, and so many of our kids now are having to deal with the mental side of things, of the pressures of NIL, the decisions of money, family stressors of being the breadwinner in their family, and it's such a different dynamic, and you get to see it firsthand as it takes its tolls. I think I just enjoyed college and had fun and was carefree. These kids now, they're just under immense pressure to perform. They're getting treated sometimes because of their money like professional athletes at 18, 19 years old, and they're just sometimes not ready for that. And it's nice to share ideas with the guys, how they manage that.
I don't know how often, let's say, the open door policy, I don't even know if there is such a thing, but let's just say the amount of time. Do you remember becoming aware of the pressures that are now prevalent? I mean, for these kids, 18 to 22, 18 to 23, there's life stuff. Do you remember that sort of button going off on you where you go, maybe I have to talk to them at times a little bit differently than I would have in the past?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're talking about me as a coach, not as a player. I didn't have those pressures until they told me I couldn't play football anymore. And then it was like, okay, what am I going to do? I was about 23, 24 when it all ended, and that's when the pressure hit me. You got to pay the light bill, but when for a coach, for like now, it's certainly different when you don't know the dynamic that kid's dealing with. He may be getting told, you made a bad decision, why are you there? And that tears at the fabric of growth. It tears at the fabric of how do I get better? How do I perform where my feet are? And, I'm a parent. I'm an athlete. I got an athletic son and daughter and kids. And you start thinking, well, are they in the best scenario? Are they doing the best thing? You see these kids moving around at early ages, even from sport to sport, from school to school. And so then it hits in college where first time something is difficult, and they're going to get difficult. But the first time something is difficult, sometimes guys leave. And you have to be careful, and you got to be really smart. You got to establish relationships all throughout a young man so that you can help him grow and get better.
And Snit, you and Kirby both had to deal with the idea that you have kids coming, I don't want to say big fish, small pond. But they've never watched a game because they've always played. A lot of them have been stars. And then all of a sudden you see the struggle they go through when, not everybody's telling you you're fabulous every day because now there's competition and competition at another level. Can you just both maybe talk a little bit about that? When you see that for the first time, maybe in a kid's eyes, how do we work him through
Go ahead,
that?
Snit. You can answer first.
Well, no, it's because they've been raised differently. The society and their upbringing and things like that are different. When I first started managing 40 years ago, these kids were, like I said, I remember our high school football coach, they literally kick you in the rear if things weren't going right. And my God, you do that to a kid now, or you got to approach them differently. And when I managed in the minor leagues, I used to always want to know who the kids that didn't have a male in their life or grandma raised them and things like that. So you got to go at those kids differently. And to Kirby's point, you have to establish relationships with these kids so they trust you because they're not coming in trusting you. That's something that you have to earn from them. And then when you do that, then it's kind of like you can, get them to the next place. But even in the major leaguers, I mean, I said these, you got to approach them differently. You got to talk to them. There's no somebody I've heard, it's like, well, we need somebody to come in and raise hell and turn the table over and everything. You'll lose a guy in today's society doing that. I used to throw fungos through TVs and tip over, spreads and stuff like that to get my point across.
There go the cold cuts.
Yeah, if you do that now, these guys will look at you like you got two heads and turn you off. I mean, you have to go about them. You bring them in, you close the door, and you have a conversation. And that's a big difference from when I started doing this job, like I say, 40 years ago.
Kirby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree a lot with Ned. I mean, the approach has to be different based on who the kid is, what his background is. We try like hell to promote that failure is growth, and that so many of these kids have never failed, and they've never been criticized, and they've grown up in a comparison world because they can look at their best friend and see what they're doing right on their phone. And, when you see other people having fun doing things, you want to compare them to yourself. And if you fail, you feel like, man, I'm struggling. But that failure is growth. We try to have other players that have had success in the past really share that growth process with them because it's not easy. It's not easy to fail.
I know you're always striving to be better. If I just ask, how would you assess so far, and are you at a point now this season where you thought this group could be, and what's sort of the next evolution of this group?
Yeah, I'm definitely at a spot that I thought we could be. There's certain areas that I've been so pleased with this team in terms of resiliency, growth, like work ethic, attitude to practice. Like there's so many things I'm so fired up about, and then there's areas of concern where we've got to continue to get better. And if we want to go where we want to go, we got to improve. That we're not where we need to be. And I'm kind of like okay with that. I've accepted that. Like when you take on coaching, every team's different, and you've got to figure out as a coach what that team needs, what their strengths are, what you can rely on, and make the best of it, because it's hard to change a lot of that in season, right? You got what you got. You got to go grow with it, and you got to find ways to emphasize their strengths.
Kirby Smart on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Brian Snitker here in studio with us, and I would imagine there is some kernel of truth to what Lane Kiffin said. The days of the dynasties in college football are over. You've talked about the depth and how things have changed.
Oh, it's changed immensely. I mean, it's. I don't know. I can say for certain the days of the dynasty are over, but the dynasties will be where the players are, and the players and the people that have the most and the most depth. If they can get that, they're going to always have an opportunity to win. It's just a lot less margin. I mean, we've already seen a lower margin in conference games this year than ever before. It's been tighter. This weekend is predicted to have like 5 or 6, one-score type games. I mean, it's just tighter ball games, which it kind of highlights what the TV wants, which is better games, and it boils down to late game decisions, and smaller things make a bigger deal when that margin's closer.
I thought Shane Beamer said something interesting the other day. He had a press conference this week where somebody pointed out who the next 5 opponents for South Carolina are. And it was sort of like, what, you don't think I know that? And by the way, the other part is we have kids coming here to be in the middle of this. Why do I have to look at this as a disadvantage? I'm turning it into an advantage. We're telling you that this is going to be tough. Now go be tough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's this league, you're going to play in big-time matchups. You're going to play on TV. I mean, people aspire to be in this league. That's the one side of the story. They want to play in this league. They want to be in the big games. They want to get seen by the NFL scouts and talent pool, but they also want to play. And not everybody gets to play in these on these programs because their coaches are under a lot of pressure to play the best players. They've got to go out and execute, and there's not 85 guys playing at these schools every week, so somebody's not playing.
Brian Snitker in studio with us, Kirby Smart on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Snit told the story, for those that don't know, about Hank Aaron seeing something in him to become a coach and then a manager. I think people, for the most part, know you are the son of a coach. You talked about paying the bills when you were 23. When did coaching enter your realm of thought?
About the time I got cut. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got a degree from Georgia, and once they told me I couldn't be a player and I wasn't good enough, and I got cut, I immediately thought, okay, here we go. I got to make a decision. My dad's been in this line of work for a long time. I love it. I enjoy it. I think I can be good at it, but I just don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I looked around at some other options, but none of them interested me like coaching, and then I fell into the trap that I'm in now, baby.
Can I ask both of you guys, when somebody tells you that the playing part is done, do you look around for affirmation from somebody else? Like you go to a different doctor and he'll tell me better news. How long can you live in that world of sort of, but maybe you're not right. I'm telling you, I have a little bit more in me. Can I ask how you both handle that?
I was realistic with myself. I think I was just like, because I saw, I was in AA and I saw all these guys and I'm thinking, I can hold my own here, but I'm not at that level that they are. So I just felt really fortunate that, I was afforded the opportunity to stay in a game that I really loved and could make a difference in doing that. When I was young and healthy, could throw all day and do the physical work, and that kind of, got me through to when I started to manage.
Coach, how about you?
Yeah, I knew once I got to the NFL, I saw it. There's things I could do better than some guys, but there's a lot of things I couldn't, and I knew they had to make hard decisions. I wouldn't have kept myself either, and I didn't want to. I got a chance to go over to NFL Europe and go play, and I was like, man, I'm not good enough now. What's going to change? I'm 23, play football all my life. I'm not getting better, so I just. I said I got to get into coaching, and the relationships I formed there helped me because to this day the guys who cut me are still in the NFL, and I have a relationship with them, and I really appreciate that.
Well, Coach, listen, we know you got to run. We have to ask the proverbial question about going to Auburn on Saturday, and I guess if you've seen 100,000 plus in Knoxville, on the road in the SEC, this is pretty much going to be it.
Yeah, this is a great atmosphere, man. They do an unbelievable job. I tell people all the time, like every game I've coached there consecutively for so many years because of the Alabama and Georgia tie to play in there. It's just incredible how much passion and energy they pour into that stadium, and I have a lot of respect for that. I grew up close to there, so it's always an exciting, fun place to play.
All right, well, listen, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. Good luck on Saturday and hanging out with us and talking to Snit a little bit.
Hey, Snit, get that thing down to about a 3 or 4 handicap and come play with me, okay? I'll take you as my partner.
You got it. I'm going to the range as soon as I leave here, too, because I went yesterday, so that's part of mine, too. And I'll see you Saturday. I'm coming over to that game, so maybe I'll run into you before the game.
Good. Enjoy it.
All right.
Enjoy it. Thank you, guys.